Got a banana. Is that what you think of me, huh? So today is day 2 of having Lucky, and we're not friends yet, but that's okay. I got Lucky at a discount. She's kind of a discounted cow. And that my last cow Cora, she also had a damaged udder, and I paid $2,500 for her. That was a few years ago. Dairy cows are really high in price right now, and to get a really well-bred, she's a really well-bred. Lucky is extremely well-bred. She's got good genetics. She has a nice udder size and placement. She's bred well. She looks amazing. She has a nice, nice size to her. She's pretty. She's a nice cow. She just has some injuries on her udder. But my last cow, she was also really well bred, and had a teat injury that didn't heal well. So she was only working on 3. Lucky's going to be working on 2 because she has 1 injury from when she was a heifer. So one of her quarters never came into production. And then last lactation, she had a teat injury where her teat got sliced off. They sewed it back together, and I guess they're saying now that's a dead quarter. So she's only working on 2, which is totally fine for us because we are just technically homesteading with dairy. We're not, our farm is going to be mostly for beef production and selling meat and selling chicken meat. We're not selling milk. We will not sell milk. I'm very passionate about raw milk for ourselves, but I'm not passionate enough to sell raw milk to others. We share milk with people. We do not sell milk, and we might be getting another cow in the future here, even pretty soon. Another dairy cow. I'm looking at a brown Swiss, not for, again, not to produce enough dairy to sell, but to make sure that we have enough dairy for us. When she's in lactation, we can kind of switch lactations, and to make sure that we're going to be raising hogs here, we're going to be raising pig. I want to sell pork, and we want to make sure that we have enough whey to feed our pigs. And we want to mostly have our pigs on pasture with a little bit of hog feed, which I know I need to understand how much of that we need to feed, and we're going to use a lot of whey and see. I've heard that it can be done where you can just raise pigs just on pasture and whey, but I'm not sure how that would work. It depends on our pastures, what we have. We're here in hill country Texas. Our pastures, especially this area where I have Lucky in right now, is very overgrazed. There's a lot of bald spots, a lot of weeds, but when we get out into our pasture area, it is beautiful. There's lush grass. It's not overgrazed. It does need a lot of work though. So yeah, it needs brush hogging. We need to get some rotation and grazing going. We need to get fencing put up. We need to get water put in. So it's just a whole big thing that needs to get done before we get to that point. But that's another reason why we'll be getting another Jersey cow. Well, dairy cow. And we're most likely going to be getting a brown Swiss because I've never seen a brown Swiss in person, but when I see pictures of them in videos, I think they're absolutely beautiful, and they're just like big pasture dogs, like big pasture puppies, and they're really big. I like a large cow. A lot of people really like mini dairy cows when they don't have a lot of pasture. We have a lot of grass. I can feed a lot of cows on this pasture, so I'm not worried about having a larger animal. And I said we're not trying to sell milk to anyone, so I don't really need a high producer. Even though brown Swisses can be pretty high producers, but I just want something that I just want a brown Swiss. They're so beautiful. They're so very pretty. I think a Jersey's beautiful too, but brown Swiss just have that slightly different look, and I'm excited to get one. Now, Lucky does not trust me right now, which is fine. She came from a dairy, which I was, looking for cows, and I was looking for something a bit more in your pocket, something a bit more easier to work with. She's heading this way right now, and I'm just hanging out here in the barn to see if she'll walk over, but she changed her mind. She stayed. I was looking for something a bit more in your pocket. I do have the experience to be able to train a Jersey cow to be more of a homestead family milk cow, but that's just a process. My last cow, she came from a dairy too, and we got to the point where she was halter trained. I could walk her around the dogs. She was fine. I trusted her. She didn't have any issues. She was a good family milk cow. So we'll see how we can do with, and I had no experience, by the way. Like, I was 8 months pregnant when I got my last cow, Cora, and we had her for a few years. And it took me a long time to be comfortable around her. I just had this irrational fear that she was just going to trample me to death at all times. So, I was very passionate about raw milk and really wanted a cow. I really wanted a family milk cow, but I was also, I'm kind of, I have that negative thought process. It's always going to go wrong. Processing always going to go wrong. I'm always going to get hurt. I'm just kind of like that. I'm a scaredy cat, but I am very confident now. I know what I'm doing. For the most part, I'm not an expert, but we've had dairy cows for a few years. So I feel like I have the experience to take a friendly dairy cow that's been in a dairy and turn her into a sweet family milk cow. So we'll see how it goes. She is possibly bred to a Jersey bull, but she was also exposed to an Angus bull. So we'll get a surprise if it's what breed it's going to be. I'm really hoping it's going to be a Jersey heifer. That would be so wonderful. That's the last time we calved with our cow, we had a bull calf, and it's just disappointing. I don't want an AI with sex semen, even though it's very tempting to do that. I just think that to get good genetics, you need to mix it up a little bit, and I can go deep into that, but if we're all AIing with sex semen from the same bulls, from these champion bull lines or whatever, or registered bulls, then you just get lots, where a bull that would only have a few hundred children has now got thousands of children that are only female. And I don't know if there's negatives to that. I just think that, like, I like to do it more the natural way. So I would like her to be pregnant right now with a Jersey heifer, but we'll see. That would be a bonus, but the plan would be, if she has a Jersey heifer, that we will raise her to be another dairy cow, another family milk cow for us, or we could possibly sell her in the future once she's ready to be a dairy cow, a family dairy cow for somebody else. But she could stay here her whole life too. That would be nice to have a mother-daughter pair working on the farm here. But past that, if she is pregnant with a beef, so an Angus cross Jersey heifer, then I'm not sure. Would she be a good dual purpose cow, or would that, I'm not really sure. I don't know much about Jersey Angus cross, which is probably pretty common around here because we have lots of beef cows, lots of beef bulls, and if somebody wants a milk cow, they don't have very many options around here for bulls. So I'll do some more research on that, and we'll find out if she has what she has. I'll do some more research on that. If it is a Jersey cross Angus bull, then we'll steer him within the first few days, and we'll be raising him as one of our first beef cows here on the farm to be raised from calves. And I've heard that Jersey meat is one of the best meats you can eat. People just think that black Angus is the only way to go, but Jersey meat is very good. So that would be I think that'd be a nice cow. I think that'd be a nice steer, and that he'll be great, and he would end up tasting really good. And that will probably be not the first meat we'll offer here, because we're going to get some more meat that's going to be ready before that. But that's going to be the very first beef that we'll be raising from calf here. So he won't be ready for like 2 years if that's what it is. But we have a plan for every possibility that she has in her belly right now. So this is the barn, kind of like loafing shed that we inherited here. Right now I have my rabbits set up here, and we have the chickens using it as a coop. Lucky has access to this. We're going to have to try and move some of these panels and repurpose them. I'm going to have to put a stanchion in right here, I'm planning on. And then we can keep the feed and hay over here. Are you done? And then I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing yet. We need to get power over here because my milk machine runs off electric. So the house is right there. I can run electric from here. An extension cord is possible. But the amount of money I'm going to spend on an extension cord that comes from here to here, I could just run electric out here. Now, we do have some wiring that we could possibly use from a project we used in our last barn. So that's probably the route we're going to go. I have my electric fence poles ready there to set up some access for her to the pasture. Hi, Mr. Goose. So as you can see, this pasture is a mixture of plants, weeds, sunflowers, which I'm surprised Lucky's not eating, because my last Jersey cow, she would eat everything in sight. I think she's just not used to the move still, and uncomfortable. But here we go. There's like lots of plants, weeds, whatever. I'm not sure what any of this is. And then a tuft of grass, bald spaces, weeds, tuft of grass. So this is a problem here. This area has definitely been overgrazed. But as you go out into the pasture, we have mesquite trees trying to grow here, so this all needs to be brush hogged. But it is beautiful back there. Again, over here it's been overgrazed. But once you get past this area into the going towards the back, it is beautiful. There's lots of grass, lots of nutrients out there. She's sitting down again, so let me see if I can go over to her and offer her some grain. I really need to have a relationship with her, and she needs to see me as food when I come out to the barn and come over, so I can get her into this milk routine. This is a transition period. Cows really, really like routines. They like to know, hey, this is what we're going to be doing. They like to know that when I come outside, that means food. When I come outside, that means I'm going to get milked. I'm going to get relieved. We're going to hang out for a little bit. They need to know that's what's going to happen. Right now, she has no idea what my intentions are. She has no idea what's going to happen when I go over to her. She doesn't know what I'm offering. She doesn't know who I am. So that's something we're going to work on over the next week. Hopefully, like, I want a calf today, but hopefully she gives us enough time to bond a little bit and for her to understand what I want from her before she gives birth. Because once she gives birth, I'm going to have to milk her. And if she's not in that we're friends mode, I don't know how that's going to go. So I came over to her and she got up. She was laying down. My dogs kind of followed me over here too, so that might have been why. They're on the other side of the fence. She's trying to figure them out right now. I have some grain. Let's see if she will come over. Lucky. Lucky. Better get used to your name. Lucky. I'm not going to freak you out, but I'm just going to put some grain on the ground for you. I bear gifts. Delicious gifts. There you go. I'm just going to put that down there for you, see? We have twins. Give her some space. So this is the other situation we're dealing with right now. The one that's closest to me on the front there is the original dead one. The other front one, so her front right, is the one that she had the injury on. And then the back two are pretty good. You can see that one that's closest to me, that whole quarter isn't filling up. As right there in the front right, that just looks different. And the woman I got her from said not to milk her there. This is going to be her first lactation since the injury. It shouldn't be even filling up, so because they said they killed off that quarter. We'll see what happens, but most likely we're just going to be milking, probably 99.9% sure that's not going to give no milk, and we're going to leave it alone. So we'll just be getting milk from the back too. We're going to be working on letting her, petting her and giving her food, and if she sees me as grain and as friendly, then this should go well. She's not acting aggressive in any way. She's just unsure, and I'm unsure of her right now, so we're just going to work on our bond, and hopefully she trusts me with her calf and she's not going to freak out and try to trample me when the calf's born.